Last year's European elections were held under the rules of the Nice Treaty, which reduced the number of MEPs. But in December last year, the Lisbon Treaty came into force, which once again raised the number of MEPs, this time to 751. So, from somewhere, Parliament needs to find another handful of MEPs in order to comply fully with the Lisbon Treaty. And this week here in Brussels, the Constitutional Affairs Committee has been debating the way forward. Under the Nice Treaty, the maximum size of the Parliament was set at 736. The Lisbon Treaty establishes a Parliament of 750 MEPs plus the President, although for this mandate Member States have agreed to a total of 754. So 18 new MEPs need to be found to bridge the gap for the next 4 years. 12 EU Member States will gain at least one new MEP under the Lisbon Treaty. For example, Spain gets 4, while Austria, France and Sweden gain 2 each, so it's an important political issue. Most countries have not decided how these new seats should be allocated, but they all agree they should use the same system. The Member States have asked MEPs what they think should be done. I'm joined now by Íñigo Méndez de Vigo, a Spanish MEP, coordinator for the EPP group on the Constitutional Affairs Committee and one of the Parliament's foremost constitutional experts. Mr. Méndez de Vigo, what is the EPP's position on the way forward?
I do believe that we have to accomplish with the Lisbon Treaty. In the Lisbon Treaty there are 18 MEPs that should be part of this Parliament. The European Council, through a letter from Mr. Van Rompuy, has asked our advice, and today in the Constitutional Affairs Committee we gave our advice. I was the rapporteur on these 2 reports, one saying yes to an IGC in order to change the protocol and get these members of parliament in, and the second resolution was not to convene a convention. We believe a convention should be used for major changes. This is just a very minor, a very transitional change.
So how important is it for Parliament's credibility that this issue is resolved as soon as possible?
Well, I think the European Council has sought our advice. We have to give it as soon as possible, and this is a political compromise established in the Lisbon Treaty. These members of Parliament are not members now because of the ratification of the Lisbon Treaty. When the elections took place, Nice was in place, so these 80 members could not become members of this chamber. I think for the credibility of this Parliament, we should do as soon as possible in order that the political compromise settled up in the Lisbon Treaty is fulfilled as soon as possible.
As the Parliament's rapporteur on this issue, Mr. Méndez de Vigo has substantial influence. His report was approved by the committee and it now goes before the full Parliament. The Parliament was strongly in favour of the adoption of the Lisbon Treaty, so it makes sense that the institution does all it can to implement as soon as possible and as fully as possible the provisions of the treaty. For more information on our group's policies on constitutional affairs, please visit our website, eppgroup.eu. Thanks for watching and see you again soon.